Files kept locked away for decades have sparked a legal head-to-head between Northern Ireland's Public Documents Archive and the government department that oversees it. When the Public Records Office refused to release documents to the families of 2 people killed during the Troubles, the Culture Minister intervened and ordered that the papers should be handed over. Our Home Affairs correspondent Vincent Kearney reports.
Its job is to preserve and make available records about the past, but the Public Records Office has been accused of acting unlawfully by refusing to do just that. When a solicitor acting for the families of 2 men killed by loyalists made what he considered a routine Freedom of Information request for court papers about the killings, he was told no.
In a letter, the Public Records Office said the decision had been taken after reviewing the files and information it received from the Historical Inquiries team. The letter said it would not be in the public interest to release any information at this stage, and that providing access to the documents would be likely to prejudice the detection of crime, the apprehension or prosecution of offenders, and the administration of justice.
The families wanted access to the records of coroners' inquests, public hearings to determine the cause and circumstances of the deaths.
Access to this material has been instrumental in persuading the Attorney-General to direct fresh inquest and listen to a number of similar cases. It is imperative as legal representatives when we're preparing such applications that we establish the flawed nature of the original inquest, but we can't do that, of course, if we don't have access to the original depositions.
For years, the Public Records Office had routinely released court papers to solicitors on request, so he asked why the policy had changed. In a letter, PRONI said it was a result of a meeting at the end of June last year, when an investigator from the PSNI asked under what authority they were releasing copies of court files into the public domain.
Effectively, the Public Records Office has delegated decision-making in these issues to the HET or PSNI. We believe that's unlawful. I don't believe it's any accident that we've had this intervention. We have an Attorney-General at the minute who's prepared to direct fresh inquest where he sees it advisable. And I believe this is a very deliberate policy to stymie and to obstruct families who are seeking to persuade the Attorney-General to go down that road.
The policy was due to be challenged in the courts until the Culture Minister, who has responsibility for the Public Records Office, intervened and sent the documents to the families.
I believe they should have had the information a long time ago, but having gone through this process, it's been a learning curve, but it's also something that I believe that both PRONI, HET and the PSNI also need to learn from as well.
A spokesman for the HET said it had not raised any objections to the inquest papers being released.
Further requests for access to court documents will be dealt with on a case-by-case basis. That could mean further disputes and further interventions. Vincent Kearney, BBC Newsline.